Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract everything they desire, while others struggle despite endless effort? The answer lies not in what you're doing, but in where you're placing your attention. Today, I'm going to share with you the profound science of manifestation that has been proven in our laboratories. Our research has uncovered something remarkable about human consciousness. When you focus your attention on something specific, you activate neural networks that literally reshape your brain's architecture. But here's what's fascinating. This reshaping isn't limited to your physical brain. Think about the last time you intensely desired something. Our studies show that in that moment, you were generating electromagnetic fields that extended far beyond your physical body. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality itself. The laboratory data revealed something extraordinary. When you maintain focused attention on a specific outcome for just 3 minutes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences in your nervous system. These sequences create measurable changes in your brain chemistry. Our consciousness research demonstrates that what we focus on literally alters our DNA expression. When you direct your attention toward what you want rather than what you don't want, you activate dormant genetic potentials associated with enhanced creation abilities. No. Now, going back to our study, this old awesome thought. Instead of this profound discovery from our studies, your cells are constantly listening to your internal dialogue. Every thought you think creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural ability to attract what you desire. The brain imaging research shows something fascinating. When you maintain focused attention on your desired reality, you activate what we quantum coherent networks. These networks synchronize your brainwaves with the frequency of what you want to attract. Now, our studies on consciousness reveal that when you persist in holding your attention on a specific outcome, you generate what we call probability fields that actually influence future events. This isn't a measurable quantum mechanics. I think about this remarkable finding from our laboratory research. When you focus intensely on what you want to create, you enter what we call manifestation states. In these states, your brain produces specific frequencies that harmonize with similar frequencies in your environment. The data from our cellular studies shows that when you maintain consistent focus on your desired reality, you literally reprogram your body's electromagnetic field. This field extends several feet beyond your physical form and influences the quantum field around you. Our research on neuroplasticity demonstrates something extraordinary. When you direct your attention toward what you want to experience, you create new neural pathways that support the manifestation of those experiences. Consider this fascinating discovery. When you focus on specific outcomes with emotional intensity, you generate what we call resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. This is pure physics, not philosophy. The speech continues exploring various aspects of focused attention and manifestation through scientific understanding and practical application. The neuroscience of attention reveals something profound. When you focus intensely on your desired reality, you activate what we call creation circuits in your brain. These circuits generate electromagnetic frequencies that extend into the quantum field. Our laboratory studies demonstrate that every thought you maintain creates ripples in the fabric of space-time. When you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, these ripples become waves of probability that influence future events. Think about this remarkable discovery. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between what you're experiencing and what you're imagining with emotional intensity. This means you're constantly broadcasting frequencies that attract corresponding experiences. The research on consciousness shows that when you maintain unwavering focus on what you desire, you enter what we call manifestation zones, states where the gap between thought and reality collapses. Our brain imaging studies reveal something extraordinary. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you activate dormant areas of your brain associated with enhanced creation abilities. Consider this fascinating finding. Your cells are continuously responding to the frequency of your focused attention. When you maintain concentration on what you want to experience, you literally alter your biological expression. The data from our quantum research demonstrates that focused attention generates what we call probability fields. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality, increasing the likelihood of specific outcomes materializing. Our studies on neural coherence show that when you persist in holding your attention on desired experiences, You create measurable changes in your brain's electromagnetic field that extend far beyond your physical form. Think about this profound discovery. When you focus intensely on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call synchronicity sequences in your nervous system. These sequences align your internal frequency with what you want to attract. The research on cellular intelligence reveals that your body's trillions of cells respond instantly to where you place your attention. This response creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural manifestation abilities. He's building something power manifestation. Consider this remarkable finding from our laboratory studies. When you maintain focused attention on what you want to create, you generate what we call quantum resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. Our consciousness research shows that every thought you think creates ripples in the quantum field. When you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, these ripples become waves of probability that influence future events. Think about this extraordinary discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts specific frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies interact with the quantum field, attracting experiences that match their vibration. The data from our brain study reveals that when you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation networks, neural pathways that support the materialization of specific outcomes. Now, research on cellular memory demonstrates that every cell in your body responds to the frequency of your focused attention. This response creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field that influence probability itself. Consider this fascinating finding. When you direct your attention toward what you want to experience, you generate what we call coherence fields that extend several feet beyond your physical form. The studies on consciousness show that your focused attention creates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the likelihood of desired experiences manifesting in your reality. Think about this profound discovery from our laboratory research. When you maintain consistent focus on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call probability cascades that influence future events in measurable ways. Our latest research reveals something extraordinary. When you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call quantum attraction networks in your brain. These networks generate specific frequencies that shape future probabilities. Think about this remarkable discovery. Every moment of focused attention creates ripples in the quantum field. When these ripples align with your desired outcome, they become powerful waves of manifestation energy. The laboratory studies show that when you persist in directing your attention towards specific experiences, you enter what we call creation states, periods where the boundary between thought and reality becomes increasingly permeable. Our consciousness research demonstrates that focused attention generates electromagnetic fields that extend up to 30 feet beyond your physical form. These fields interact with the quantum fabric of reality in measurable ways. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you trigger what we call synchronicity sequences in your nervous system. These sequences align your internal frequency with external possibilities. The brain imaging data reveals something profound. Focused attention activates dormant areas of your brain associated with enhanced manifestation abilities. These areas generate specific frequencies that attract corresponding experiences. Our studies on cellular intelligence show that every cell in your body responds instantly to where you place your attention. This response creates biochemical changes that influence your ability to attract desired outcomes. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention towards specific experiences, you generate what we call probability fields that interact with the quantum fabric of reality itself. The research on neural coherence demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your brain's electromagnetic field. These changes influence the likelihood of specific outcomes materializing in your experience. Consider this remarkable finding from our laboratory studies. When you maintain unwavering focus on your desired reality, you activate what we call manifestation circuits that support the materialization of specific outcomes. Our consciousness research reveals that every thought you maintain creates specific frequency patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, attracting experiences that match their vibration. Think about this profound discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts electromagnetic frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies extend into the quantum field, influencing future probabilities. The data from our brain study shows that when you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call quantum resonance patterns that attract similar frequencies into your experience. Our research on cellular memory demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field. These changes influence the probability of desired experiences manifesting in your reality. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you generate what we call coherence fields that extend several feet beyond your physical form. The studies on consciousness show that your focused attention creates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the likelihood of desired experiences materializing. Think about this extraordinary discovery from our laboratory research. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences that influence future events in measurable ways. Our research on neuroplasticity reveals that focused attention creates new neural pathways that support the materialization of desired experiences. These pathways become stronger with consistent use. The quantum mechanics of focused attention reveals something remarkable. When you maintain concentrated awareness on your desired reality, you activate what we call creation frequencies in your nervous system. These frequencies ripple through the fabric of space, time itself. Our laboratory findings demonstrate that when you persist in holding your attention on specific outcomes, you generate what we call manifestation fields that extend into the quantum realm. These fields influence probability at the subatomic level. Think about this profound discovery. Every sustained thought creates specific electromagnetic patterns. When these patterns align with your desired experience, they become powerful attractors in the quantum field. The research on consciousness shows that focused attention triggers what we call synchronicity cascades, sequences of events that appear random, but are actually responding to your internal frequency. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain unwavering focus on what you want to experience, you enter what we call quantum coherent states where thought and reality begin to merge. Our brain imaging studies reveal that focused attention activates dormant neural networks associated with enhanced manifestation abilities. These networks generate specific frequencies that shape future possibilities. The data from our cellular research demonstrates that every cell in your body responds to the frequency of your focused attention, creating biochemical changes that influence your attraction field. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you generate what we call probability waves that interact with the quantum fabric of reality. Our studies on neuroplasticity show that focused attention creates new pathways in your brain that support the materialization of desired experiences. These pathways strengthen with consistent use. Consider this remarkable finding. When you maintain concentrated awareness and on your desired reality, you activate what we call resonance fields that attract corresponding experiences into your life. The research on consciousness reveals that every thought you hold creates specific frequency patterns. These patterns extend into the quantum field, influencing future probabilities. How do we learn and shift our frequency? Think about this profound discovery. Your nervous system broadcasts electromagnetic frequencies based on where you place your attention. These frequencies interact with the quantum field in measurable ways. Our laboratory studies show that when you persist in focusing on specific outcomes, you trigger what we call manifestation sequences that influence the likelihood of desired experiences materializing. The data from our brain research demonstrates that focused attention creates measurable changes in your electromagnetic field. These changes extend several feet beyond your physical form. Consider this fascinating finding. When you maintain consistent focus on what you want to experience, you generate what we call quantum attraction patterns that draw similar frequencies into your reality. Our studies on cellular intelligence reveal that focused attention creates biochemical changes that either support or inhibit your natural manifestation abilities. Think about this extraordinary discovery. When you direct your attention towards specific outcomes, you activate what we call creation networks that influence future events in measurable ways. The research on neural coherence shows that focused attention generates specific brainwave patterns. These patterns interact with the quantum field, increasing the probability of desired experiences manifesting. Our latest quantum research reveals something transformative. When you maintain pure focus on your desired reality, You activate what we call manifestation potential that exists in every particle of your being. These particles respond instantly to your attention. Consider this final revelation. The electromagnetic field of your focused attention extends into dimensions beyond time and space. In these dimensions, everything exists in a state of pure possibility, waiting for your attention to give it forth. The laboratory studies confirm that in the last moments before manifestation, you enter what we call quantum resonance, a state where your internal frequency perfectly matches the frequency of your desire. This is the moment of transformation. Think about this culminating discovery. Your focused attention creates a bridge between potential and reality. When you maintain this bridge through unwavering concentration, possibilities collapse into experience. Our consciousness research shows that in the final phase of manifestation, you generate what we call coherence waves that ripple through the quantum field, bringing your desired reality into physical form. Remember this fundamental truth. You are not separate from what you observe. Your attention is the force that shapes the quantum field into tangible experience. This is not theory. This is proven quantum mechanics. The data from our final studies reveals that when you maintain absolute clarity of focus, you enter what we call creation consciousness, a state where thought and reality become one unified field. Consider this closing insight. Every moment contains infinite potential, waiting for your focused attention to give it direction. Your attention is the key that unlocks these infinite possibilities. In these concluding moments, understand that you are not just observing reality. You are creating it through your focused attention. Every thought you maintain shapes the quantum field into corresponding experience. And so I leave you with this final truth. Your attention is your most powerful tool for creating reality. Use it wisely, direct it consciously, and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match the picture in your mind. Remember, what you focus on expands, what you think about manifests, and what you give your attention to grows. This is not philosophy. This is the science of consciousness itself. Your journey of conscious creation begins now. Every moment is a new opportunity to direct your attention toward what you want to experience. The quantum field awaits your instructions. Trust in the process and maintain your focus and watch as your reality transforms to match your internal vision. This is your natural power. Use it consciously, use it wisely, and use it now. Our topic tonight is never force anyone to choose you. Now, you might be wondering, Wayne, how does this relate to the law of assumption, to the power of imagination? I assure you, it is intricately connected to everything we have discussed before. You see, the very act of trying to force someone to choose you is a manifestation of a state of consciousness, a state of lack, of desperation, of disbelief in your own divine nature. Remember, my dear friends, that your consciousness is the only reality. The world outside is but a reflection of your inner state. When you find yourself in a position where you feel the need to force someone's choice, you are, in fact, dwelling in a state of consciousness that believes you are not enough, that you are not worthy of being chosen freely. But I say to you tonight, with all the conviction of my being, that you are already chosen. You have been chosen by the greatest power in the universe, the power that beats your heart, that flows through your veins, that animates your very existence. This power, which I call God, which you may call by any name that resonates with you, has already selected you as its vessel expression in this world. So why then would you lower yourself to the point of trying to force a mere mortal to choose you when the creator of all that has already done so is because you have forgotten your true nature. You have forgotten that. You are not just a physical being having a spiritual experience, but a spiritual being having a physical experience. Let's delve deeper into this concept. When you try to force someone to choose you, you are operating from a state of external dependency. You are placing your sense of worth, your happiness, your very identity in the hands of another. But I tell you, this is not the way. Your worth, your happiness, your identity, these are not external to you. They're not something to be gained or lost based on the whims of another. They're intrinsic to your being, as much a part of you as your own breath. Imagine, if you will, a golden sun burning bright within your chest. This sun is your divine nature, your connection to the infinite power of the universe. It burns regardless of who chooses you or doesn't choose you. It burns regardless of your circumstances, your past, your future. It burns eternal and unchanging. This, my friends, is your true self, and it is from this self that all your power flows. Now let us consider for a moment what it means to choose. In our physical reality, we are constantly making choices. What to eat, what to wear, where to go, who to spend our time with. But on a deeper level, every choice we make is a choice of state. We are choosing which version of ourselves to embody, which reality to step into. When you try to force someone to choose you, you are, in essence, choosing a state of lack for yourself. You are saying to the universe, I am not enough as I am. I need this person's validation to be complete. But I say to you, my dear friends, you are already complete. You are already whole. You are already perfect. So you are a perfect expression of the divine. Instead of trying to force someone to choose you, why not choose yourself? Why not step into the state of being the person who is naturally chosen, not out of coercion or manipulation, but out of genuine desire and appreciation? This is the power you hold within you. The power to choose your state of being, and in doing so, to choose your reality. Let me share with you a technique that I have found powerful in this regard. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself as the person you want to be. See yourself radiating confidence, love, and inner peace. See yourself surrounded by people who appreciate you for who you are, who choose to be in your presence, not because you have forced them, but because they genuinely want to be there. Feel the feeling of being this person. Feel the confidence coursing through your veins. Feel the love expanding in your heart. Feel the peace settling into your bones. This feeling, my friends, is your true state of being. It's who you really are beneath all the layers of doubt and fear that you have accumulated over the years. Now open your eyes. The world you see around you might not have changed, but you have changed. You have shifted your state of consciousness, and in doing so, you have set in motion a chain of events that will bring your outer reality into alignment with your inner state. This is the true power of never forcing anyone to choose you. It's not about becoming more attractive to others or learning manipulation techniques. It's about remembering your true nature, stepping into your power, and allowing the right people and circumstances to naturally gravitate towards you. Consider for a moment the natural world around us. Does a flower force the bee to choose it? Does it beg and plead for pollination? No. It simply blooms in all its glory, secure in the knowledge that its nectar will attract the right bees at the right time. You, my dear friends, are that flower. Your very being, when aligned with your true divine nature, is more than enough to attract all that is meant for you. But perhaps you think, Wayne, this all sounds well and good, but what about when I really want a specific person to choose me? What about when I've set my heart on a particular relationship or opportunity? Your desire is not for the person or the opportunity itself, but for the feeling you believe it will bring you. You see, we never want things or people for themselves. We want them for the state of consciousness we believe they will allow us to inhabit. If you desire a romantic partner, it's because you believe this partner will allow you to feel loved, secure. If you desire a particular job, it's because you believe this job will allow you to feel successful, fulfilled, purposeful. You don't need the external thing to embody the state. You can step into that state right now, in this very moment. You can feel loved, secure, and appreciated right now. You can feel successful, fulfilled, and purposeful right now. And when you do, when you truly embody these states, you will find that the outer world rearranges itself to match your inner reality. This is the essence of what I teach, that your imagination creates reality. When you try to force someone to choose you, you are imagining a reality where you are not enough as you are. You are imagining a reality where your worth is dependent on another's validation. But when you step into the state of being confidently and securely yourself, you are imagining a reality where you are more than enough, where your worth is intrinsic and unshakable. When you no longer need someone to choose you, when you no longer try to force it, you become magnetic. You become irresistible. Not in a superficial sense, but in a deep soul level sense. People are drawn to those who are secure in themselves, who radiate self-love and inner peace. By no longer needing to be chosen, you become the natural choice. Let's delve deeper into this concept of being the natural choice. When you are aligned with your true self, when you are dwelling in the state of your divine nature, you exude a certain energy. This energy is palpable to those around you, even if they can't quite put their finger on what it is. It's an energy of authenticity, of self-assuredness, of inner peace. This energy is far more attractive than any forced attempt to make someone choose you. Think about it. Have you ever been around someone who's trying too hard to impress you, to make you like them? How did it feel? Probably a bit uncomfortable, maybe even off-putting. Now think about someone you've met who is simply comfortable in their own skin, who wasn't trying to be anything other than who they are. How did that feel? Refreshing, wasn't it? Magnetic even. That, my dear friends, is the power of never forcing anyone to choose you. It's about being so secure in who you are, so aligned with your true self, that you naturally draw the right people and opportunities to you. It's about trusting in the divine timing of the universe, knowing that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Wayne, what if I've been trying to force someone to choose me for a long time? What if I've been in this state of lack and desperation for years? How do I change? The power to change is always available to you. In this very moment, your past does not define you. Your habits do not control you. You are the operant power in your life, and you can choose a new state of consciousness at any time. The key is to start with your imagination. Remember, your imagination is the God force within you. It is the creative power through which you shape your reality. So instead of imagining scenarios where you have to force someone to choose you, start imagining scenarios where you are confidently and securely yourself, where the right people and opportunities naturally gravitate towards you. See yourself walking through life with an inner sense of peace and assurance. See yourself interacting with others from a place of genuine self-love and respect. See yourself being chosen, not because you forced it, but because it's the natural result of who you are. The feeling of being this person, embodied with every fiber of your being, is the crucial part. You must persist in this new state of consciousness. It's not enough to imagine it once and then go back to your old patterns of thinking and behaving. You must live from this new state consistently. Even when the outer world hasn't yet caught up to your inner changes, you must continue to dwell in this new state. This, my friends, is what I mean when I speak of living in the end. You are living as if your desire is already fulfilled. You are embodying the state of consciousness of the person who no longer needs to force anyone to choose them because they know their own worth, they trust in divine timing, and they are secure in the knowledge that what is meant for them will come to them naturally. Now let's address a common misconception. Some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, if I stop trying to make people choose me, if I stop putting in effort, won't I end up alone? Won't I miss out on opportunities? This, my dear friends, is the voice of fear. It's the voice of the old state of consciousness that believes you have to force things to happen. But I'll tell you this, true action comes from a place of inspired alignment, not desperate force. When you are dwelling in the state of your divine nature, you will be inspired to take actions that align with that state. You will naturally behave in ways that draw the right people and opportunities to you. But these actions will feel easy, joyful, natural, not forced or desperate. Consider the difference between these two scenarios. In the first, you're constantly texting someone, trying to get their attention, manipulating situations to be around them, changing yourself to fit what you think they want. In the second, you're focused on your own growth and happiness, pursuing your passions, and living your best life, and in the process naturally drawing people who resonate with your energy. Which scenario do you think is more likely to lead to genuine, fulfilling connections, which is more likely to attract the right opportunities? The latter, of course, because it comes from a place of authenticity, of alignment with your true self. This brings us to another important point, the power of self-love. When you truly love and accept yourself, you no longer need to force anyone to choose you. You have already chosen yourself, and that is the most important choice of all. Self-love is not narcissism or selfishness. It's a deep appreciation for your own divine nature, a recognition of your intrinsic worth. Cultivating self-love is a practice, my friend. It involves treating yourself with kindness and compassion. It involves honoring your needs and boundaries. It involves celebrating your unique gifts and accepting your humanness, including your flaws and imperfections. When you love yourself in this way, you create a solid foundation from which all your relationships and endeavors can flourish. Now, let's talk about divine timing. Often when we're trying to force someone to choose us, we're operating on our own timeline. We want it to happen now on our terms. But the universe operates on its own divine timing, which is often different from our human perception of time. Trust in this divine timing. Know that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Your job is not to force the timing, but to use this time to align yourself more fully with your true nature. Use this time to grow, to learn, to become more of who you truly are. But when the right time comes, and it will come, you will be ready. You will be the best version of yourself, naturally attracting what is meant for you. Remember, my dear friends, that the external world is a reflection of your inner state. If you find yourself constantly in situations where you feel the need to force people to choose you, it's a sign that there's inner work to be done. It's an invitation to look within, to examine your beliefs about yourself and your worth. Are you harboring beliefs of unworthiness, of not being good enough? These beliefs, though they may feel true, are not your true nature. They are learned patterns, often picked up in childhood or through difficult experiences. But just as you learn them, you can unlearn them. You can replace them with the truth of your divine nature, with the knowing of your intrinsic worth. This is where the power of revision comes in. You can go back in your imagination and revise those experiences that led to these limiting beliefs. See them playing out differently. See yourself being valued, appreciated, chosen naturally. Feel the feeling of knowing your worth, of being secure in who you are. This is not mere fantasy. This is you aligning with your true nature, with the reality of who you really are. As you do this inner work, as you align more and more with your true divine nature, you'll find that your outer world begins to shift. The people and opportunities that come into your life will be more aligned with this new state of consciousness. You'll find yourself naturally attracting those who appreciate you for who you truly are, who choose you not out of obligation or manipulation, but out of genuine desire and resonance. This, my dear friends, is the power of never forcing anyone to choose you. It's about choosing yourself first, about aligning with your true nature, about trusting in the divine unfolding of your life. It's about becoming so secure in who you are that you no longer need external validation. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this thought. You are already chosen. You were chosen by the divine power that breathed life into you, that continues to sustain you in every moment. You are a unique expression of this divine power with gifts and qualities that are a gift. Your task is not to force anyone to see this, but to see it yourself, to embody it so fully that it radiates from every pore of your being. When you do this, you will find that you no longer need to force anyone to choose you. The right people, the right opportunities, the right circumstances will be drawn to you naturally like moths to a flame. So go forth from here tonight with this new understanding. Release the need to force, to manipulate, to desperately seek validation from others. Instead, turn within, connect with your divine nature. Choose yourself, love yourself, trust in the perfect unfolding of your life, and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting back to you the truth of who you really are. Remember, my friends, the kingdom of heaven is within you. All that you seek, love, acceptance, validation already exists within you. As you align with this truth, as you live from this state of consciousness, you will find that your outer world rearranges itself to match your inner reality. You will become a living embodiment of the principle that it is never necessary to force anyone to choose you, for you have chosen yourself. And that is the most powerful choice of all. And so, my dear friends, I leave you with this final thought. You are a divine love expressing itself in human form. You are worthy beyond measure. You are enough exactly as you are. Trust in this truth, live from this knowing, and watch as your life unfolds in beautiful and unexpected ways. For when you no longer need to force anyone to choose you, you become free to be your true self. And in that freedom, you will find all that you have ever sought. Thank you for your attention, for your willingness to explore these profound truths. Go forth and apply what you have learned. Remember, your imagination creates reality. Imagine yourself as the person who no longer needs to force anyone to choose them. Feel it, believe it, live it. And so it will be. My dear friends, our topic today is never complain and never explain. And I assure you, this principle holds within it the very key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within each and every one of you. Let us begin by understanding that the world we perceive around us is nothing but a reflection of our own consciousness. Everything you see, hear, touch, and experience is a manifestation of your inner state. Your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions are the architects of your reality. And it is within this context that we must approach our discussion of never complaining and never explaining. When you complain, what are you really doing? You are affirming to yourself and to the universe that something is wrong, that you are a victim of circumstances beyond your control. But I say to you, There are no circumstances beyond your control, for you are the operant power in your world. You are God pushed out into expression, and God does not complain about His creation. Consider for a moment the biblical statement, "And God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good." This is not merely a poetic description of creation. It is a fundamental truth about the nature of consciousness and reality. When you complain, you are denying this truth. You are saying, in essence, I see what I have made, and behold, it is not good. But my dear friends, I urge you to recognize the power of your own imagination. For it is through your imagination that you create your reality. When you complain, you are imagining undesirable circumstances and giving them life through your attention and beliefs. You are using the divine gift of imagination to create that which you do not want. Instead, I implore you to use your imagination wisely. Rather than complaining about what is, imagine what could be. See the world as you wish it to be, not as it appears to be. For appearance is nothing more than a shadow or reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. It has no power to persist unless you breathe life into it through your continued attention and acceptance. Now let us turn our attention to the second part of our principle. Never explain. When you feel the need to explain yourself, what are you really doing? You are assuming that others have the power to judge you, to approve or disapprove of your actions and decisions. But I say to you, no one has this power unless you grant it to them. I am that I am. This is not merely a statement of existence. It is a declaration of your divine nature. You are that which you conceive yourself to be. There is no higher authority, no external judge who can define you or limit you. When you explain yourself, you are denying your own divinity and placing your power in the hands of others. Moreover, when you explain, you are often doing so from a place of doubt or insecurity. You are, in essence, saying, I am not sure of myself, so I need your validation. But I tell you, there is no need for validation from anyone or anything outside of yourself. You are complete and whole as you are, a perfect expression of the divine. Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. Yet Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. The lily does not explain its beauty or justify its existence. It simply is in all its perfection and glory. And so it is with you, my dear friends. You need not explain or justify your being. You simply are perfect and complete as you are. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, surely there are times when we must explain ourselves for practical reasons. And to this I say, there is a vast difference between communicating necessary information and feeling compelled to justify your existence or your choices. The former comes from a place of clarity and purpose, the latter from a place of insecurity and doubt. Let us delve deeper into the spiritual implications of this principle. When you complain or explain, you are operating from the level of the outer man, the man of flesh who sees himself as separate from God and subject to external forces. But I say to you, you are not this outer man. You are the inner man, the Christ within the God self. In the Bible, we read the kingdom of God is within you. This is not a metaphor or a poetic flourish. It is a literal truth about the nature of your being. The kingdom of God, the realm of infinite possibility and perfect creation, resides within your own consciousness. When you complain, you are denying this kingdom. When you explain, you are seeking it outside of yourself. Instead, I urge you to turn within, to seek first the kingdom of God, knowing that all else will be added unto you. But when you dwell in this inner kingdom, when you align yourself with your true nature as a divine creator, there's nothing to complain about and nothing to explain. You simply are creating your world through the power of your imagination and your assumptions. Let us consider for a moment the story of Job. Here was a man who suffered greatly, who lost everything he held dear. And what did he do? He complained bitterly, questioning God and seeking explanations for his misfortune. But what was the result of his complaints and his demands for explanation? Did they change his circumstances? Did they bring him peace or understanding? No, my friends, it was only when Job ceased his complaints and stopped demanding explanations that his fortune was restored. When he turned within, when he aligned himself with his true nature, as a divine creator, his world transformed. And so it is with each of you. Your complaints and explanations do not serve you. They keep you bound to the very circumstances you wish to change. Instead, I invite you to adopt a new attitude, a new state of consciousness, one in which you see yourself as the author of your life story, not its victim. One in which you recognize your own divinity and act from that recognition. For when you do this, When you truly embody the principle of never complaining and never explaining, you step into your power as a conscious creator. Imagine for a moment a world in which you never complain, in which you accept every circumstance, every event, every person as a perfect expression of your own consciousness. Imagine the peace this would bring, the clarity, the sense of purpose and power. This is not a fantasy, my dear friends. This is your birthright, your true nature. And now imagine a world in which you never feel the need to explain yourself, in which you stand secure in your own being, confident in your choices and actions, free from the need for external validation or approval. Imagine the freedom this would bring, the authenticity, the joy of being truly and completely yourself. This is the world that awaits you when you embrace the principle of never complaining and never explaining. It is a world of infinite possibility, of divine creativity, of perfect self-expression, and it is available to you right now. But how, you may ask, do we begin to live this principle? How do we overcome the habitual patterns of complaint and explanation that have become so ingrained in our daily lives? The answer, my friends, lies in the practice of mindful awareness and deliberate imagination. Begin by becoming aware of your thoughts and words. Notice when you feel the urge to complain or explain, but instead of judging yourself for these impulses, simply observe them with detachment. See them for what they are, old patterns, old states of consciousness that no longer serve you. Then, in that moment of awareness, make a choice. Choose to shift your attention from what is to what could be. Use your imagination to create a new scenario, a new outcome, a new state of being. For remember, your imagination is the very workshop of creation. What you imagine, feeling, and conviction must inevitably manifest in your outer world. If you find yourself in a situation that tempts you to complain, pause, take a deep breath, and then ask yourself, how would I see this situation if I were truly aligned with my divine nature? How would I respond if I knew with absolute certainty that I am the creator of my reality? Similarly, when you feel the urge to explain yourself, stop. Take a moment to center yourself in your own being. Remember who you truly are, a divine creator, perfect and complete as you are. From this place of inner knowing, ask yourself, do I really need to explain, or can I simply be secure in my own truth? As you practice this awareness and make these conscious choices, you will begin to notice a shift in your consciousness. The urge to complain and explain will gradually diminish. In its place, you will find a growing sense of peace, of power, of alignment with your true self. But remember, my dear friends, this is not about suppressing your feelings or denying your experiences. It is about transforming them through the power of your imagination and your assumptions. It is about recognizing that every experience, every circumstance is an opportunity for growth and self-realization. When you embrace this principle of never complaining and never explaining, you are not turning away from the world. On the contrary, you are engaging with it more fully, more consciously than ever before. You are recognizing your role as a co-creator of reality, and you are accepting the responsibility and the joy that comes with that recognition. Consider the words of Scripture, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." This is not merely a suggestion. It is a description of the very process we are discussing. As you renew your mind, as you shift your consciousness from complaint and explanation to acceptance and creation, you are literally transforming yourself in your world. And as you transform, you will find that your outer world begins to reflect this inner change. The circumstances that once prompted complaint will begin to shift. The people and situations that once demanded explanation will fade away or transform. But remember, the outer world is nothing but a reflection of your inner state. But this transformation is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens to you as you. For you are the operant power, the creative principle in your world. You are the one who must choose moment by moment to align with your true nature as a divine creator. This choice, this alignment is not always easy. The habits of complaint and explanation are deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness. The world around you may seem to demand that you explain yourself, that you join in the chorus of complaint. But I say to you, stand firm in your truth. Be steadfast in your commitment to never complain. For in this commitment, you are not merely changing your behavior. You are changing your very being. You are stepping into your power as a conscious creator, as a divine being in human form. And as you do so, you are lighting the way for others to do the same. Imagine a world in which every individual recognized their own divinity, their own creative power. A world in which complaint was replaced by conscious creation and explanation was replaced by authentic self-expression. This is the world we can create, my dear friends, through our individual and collective commitment to this principle. But let us be clear, this is not about creating a perfect world in the conventional sense. It is about recognizing the perfection that already exists within every moment, every circumstance, every experience. It is about aligning ourselves with the divine flow of life, trusting in the perfect unfolding of our individual and collective stories. When you truly embrace this principle, you will find that there's nothing to complain about because everything is serving your growth and evolution. You will find that there is nothing to explain because you are perfectly and completely yourself in every moment. This does not mean that challenges will cease to exist, but it does mean that you will approach these challenges from a place of power and creativity rather than victimhood and reactivity. You will see every obstacle as an opportunity, every setback as a setup for a comeback. And as you move through your life in this way, never complaining and never explaining, you will find that you become a beacon of light for others. Your very being will radiate the truth of who you are, inspiring others to recognize and claim their own divine nature. For remember, my dear friends, we are all one. We are all expressions of the one divine consciousness. When you transform yourself, you are contributing to the transformation of the entire world. When you refuse to complain, you are raising the vibration of the collective consciousness. When you refrain from explaining, you are affirming the inherent worth and divinity of every being. So I urge you, my beloved listeners, to take this principle to heart, to make it not just a practice but a way of life, to embody the truth that you are a divine creator, perfect and complete as you are, to live from the knowing that your world is a reflection of your consciousness, and that you have the power to shape the consciousness in every moment. Never complain. For in complaining, you deny your own creative power. Never explain. For explaining, you deny your own divine completeness. Instead, create, express, be. For in doing so, you are fulfilling your highest purpose and realizing your true nature as God pushed out into expression. Let every moment be an opportunity to align with this truth. Let every breath be a conscious choice to embody your divine nature. Let every thought, every word, every action be a testament to your commitment to never complain and never explain. And as you do this, watch and wonder as your world transforms. Marvel at the synchronicities that begin to unfold in your life. Delight in the joy and peace that naturally arise when you're aligned with your true self. Embrace the challenges that come your way, knowing that they are opportunities for growth and self-realization. For in truth, my dear friends, there is nothing to complain about and nothing to explain. There is only the glorious adventure of being and becoming, of creating and expressing, of realizing and embodying your divine nature. So go forth from this place with a new understanding, a new commitment. Let the words never complain and never explain be etched upon your heart and mind. Let them guide your thoughts, your words, your actions. For in living this principle, you are not just changing your life, you are changing the world. Remember, the kingdom of God is within you. The power to create, to transform, to transcend is within you. It always has been and always will be. You need only recognize it, claim it, and live from it. And so, my dear friends, I leave you with this final thought. You are God pushed out into expression. You are the author of your life story. You are the creator of your reality. Never complain about your creation. Never explain your divinity. Simply be who you truly are and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Go now and live in the joyous knowledge of your own divine nature. Create consciously, express authentically, and love unconditionally. For in doing so, you are fulfilling your highest purpose and realizing the truth of your being. Remember, never complain and never explain is not just a principle to live by. It is a gateway to your true self, a path to your highest potential, and a key to unlocking the infinite possibilities that lie within you. Embrace it fully, live it wholeheartedly, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. As we come to the close of our discussion, let us reflect once more on the profound implications of this principle. Never complaining and never explaining is not merely a behavioral change, but a fundamental shift in consciousness. It is a recognition of your true nature as a divine creator, as God pushed out into expression. When you cease to complain, you are affirming your power to shape your reality. You are declaring to the universe that you accept full responsibility for your life experiences. This doesn't mean you ignore challenges or difficulties, but rather that you approach them from a place of creative power rather than victimhood. Every situation, every circumstance becomes an opportunity for growth and self-realization. Similarly, when you stop explaining yourself, you are asserting your inherent completeness and worth. You are recognizing that you need no external validation or approval. Your actions, your choices, your very being are a perfect expression of your inner state. In this recognition, you find true freedom, the freedom to be authentically and unapologetically yourself. As you embody this principle in your daily life, you will begin to notice profound shifts. The world around you will start to reflect your new state of consciousness. Situations that once prompted complaint will transform or dissolve. The need for explanation will fade away as you stand secure in your own truth. You will find yourself moving through life with greater ease, joy, and purpose. Remember, my dear friends, you are the operant power in your world. Your consciousness creates your reality. By embracing the principle of never complaining and never explaining, you are aligning yourself with your true divine nature. You are stepping into your role as a conscious creator, shaping your world through the power of your imagination and your assumptions. Go forth and live from this truth and watch as miracles unfold in your life.